Hello, and thank you for joining Urban Disrupt, your address for social innovation. When we think about high-end brand jewelry worn by celebrity, we often tend to think about glamour and Hollywood. However, how often do we think about what goes on behind the scene? Worn by A-list celebrity, Yvel brand is a unique company that mixes profit and social innovation. Hi, Isaac, and thank you for joining us today. This is very exciting.
Thank you for inviting me.
You and your wife, Orna, started the company in 1986. Tell us about the beginning of Yvel, humble beginning, to what it is today.
Well, it was really a humble beginning. At that time, my wife and I were both unemployed, and we didn't know what to do. My wife knew how to string pearls, something I didn't know even what it meant. I totally fell in love with that. I gave her my only and last $2,000 that I had in my pocket, and we started to string pearls in her bedroom, moving to the balcony when we had our first employee. And from there we moved to our first factory, which was at 22 square meters in a small little office in the heart of Jerusalem. At that time, we used to call the company Isaac Levy Jewelry. It was not Yvel. Years later, when we started to sell the jewelry to the Arab world, we changed the name from Isaac Levy Jewelry to Yvel. That is actually our last name backwards. Yvel sounds much more refined, very European, very French. It's the same Isaac Levy doing the same shtick out of Israel.
Out of 100 employees in the factory, 90% are immigrants from 22 different countries. Why is it so important to you?
I was born in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and when we immigrated from Argentina to Israel, we had a rough beginning. My father was a business entrepreneur that invested all his money into a sausage factory that belonged to an Israeli guy that ran away with the money after 3 months and left my father years after, as we joked, with a sausage in the hand. And as a child, I didn't understand how a country that's supposed to embrace you treat you that way. And I always promised myself that if there will ever be a situation that I will be able to reach out and show that there is a different way of embracing immigrants to this country, I'll do so. In the Israeli society, the most vulnerable community among the immigrants are the Ethiopians. And this is why we decided to start with the Ethiopian community, actually.
And in 2010, you and Orna started the Maria School of Jewelry and Art. Tell us about the program and its uniqueness.
My wife and I had dedicated a school to the Ethiopian community in order to teach them the skills to become goldsmiths, diamond setters, and model makers. We pay them a monthly stipend of about, I think, 12 or 1,300 US dollars a month. And most of all, we teach them really to become proud and wake up in the morning and have really a goal in their life. Really be able to change life in the sense of becoming from social cases all the way to taxpayers.
Once the student graduates from the program, what is generally their next step? Do they stay in the company? Do they move somewhere else?
Well, one of the things that we promised the first year of the students was to provide them with a place to work after. Teaching them the skills of becoming jewelers is important, but providing them with jobs after is as important, maybe a little bit more important. Next to the school, we opened a factory for them. The factory also called Maria, and that in that factory they design their own jewelry, they manufacture their own jewelry, and we at Yvel are helping them to sell it elsewhere around the world, also here, when the full 100% of the sales goes back to the school and the factory in order to maintain them, their salaries, and hopefully to grow their capacity.
And recently, you actually expanded the Maria School and opened another school that caters towards other demographic. Can you expand about this expansion?
About 6 months ago, we opened the second school and factory of Maria. We established the same idea of Maria in Nazareth. However, in Nazareth, what we are doing is we are dedicating this school and factory to the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews of Nazareth and the Galilee.
Beautiful. And do you have any future plan to expand your social activity?
Well, the answer is yes. And if we will be able in the next 2 or 3 years to establish the school up north, our plans will be to go down south, looking to support there, again, a different society that will be the Bedouins of the Negev and the Israeli Jews who live also in the desert. Again, reaching out to a different crowd, trying to bring a better, stronger society, to have a healthier country, basically.
As a businessman and entrepreneur, what is the most important value that any entrepreneur should have out there?
If you really want to be an entrepreneur, money should always be a tool and not a target in your life. What is really the goal in your mind? What do you really want to do? Do you really want to make more money, or do you really want to change this world? I wake up every morning thinking, how can I make this world a better world? Not for others maybe, for myself. I want to create a better world for my life. I want to do it better for my children. I want to have a better society, a healthier society, a more secured society. Because I don't want to wake up one day and understand that I need a bodyguard in order to walk in the streets of Israel. I want to feel as secured as we all deserve to live in. The only way to be secured is to have a secured society.
Can you share with us a specific story of an employee or a student that really touched your heart or stood out?
I can tell you that maybe the most touching story for me was when we had the graduation of the first year. And we invited not only the graduates, the students, but we invited their families. And one of the kids, I think he was about 14 or 15 years old, after he saw the film about the school, came to me and said, "Oh, I recognize you. You're the man of this factory. I know you. I'm sure you know where the keys for the safe are. Give me the keys for the safe. Let me take some jewelry out. Give me some money." It was kind of a joke, but it was very clear to me, and I didn't answer him. The event was over. That young kid came to me, and I'm even emotional now. And he told me that he didn't realize how much it changed the life of his mother, and he's so grateful. And for me, that meant everything, because it's not about changing my life. It's changing other people's life. And the fact that we are here every day successfully changing the lives of people, it means the world to me.
Thank you again, Isaac, for joining us today. That has been so inspiring. And thank you for joining on Urban Disrupt. See you next time.